The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Get ready to be amazed. Get ready to know things that are usually unknowable. Get ready for an hour of insight and fascinating entertainment with Dr. Linda Salvin. For nearly 3 decades, Dr. Linda has been one of America's most celebrated psychic readers, metaphysical clinicians, and unmatched talk show hosts, bringing insights and solutions to thousands of people worldwide. Pull up a chair, turn it up, and get ready for a visit with the one and only Dr. Linda. And now, live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Linda Salvin.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Linda Salvin. There goes my camera. It's just getting settled here. And today on the Starlight Café, which is an old title to a show I started in 1995, a year after I got started in radio on KBIG 104 FM here in Los Angeles. I started my Starlight Café. I'm a psychic healer and a medium, and I've been doing radio, real radio, AM, FM radio, before the internet was even around. I started in 1994. On terrestrial radio. I was on AM, then FM, then cable, then back to FM. And I was in over 400 markets at one point doing psychic readings on the air. And at some point with this particular show on Thursdays, I'd love for you to come into the chat, ask a question regarding your life. And I'd be more than happy to give a psychic reading and build the audience participation with this particular show. On Tuesdays, I have Sharon Winters, and she and I co-host the show called Transformational Tuesdays, which is all about health, alternative methods for healing, staying healthy, and preventing disease and illness. And Wednesday with Candy Finnegan on Recovery Wednesday. And we talk about recovery because we're all recovering from something, whether it's drugs, alcohol, dysfunctional families, compulsive eating, sex, shopping, whatever, because we've all got something going on. But in this show, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, I'm live. And you can hear me live on Dr. Linda Radio and 100 platforms out there, or you can watch on YouTube or watch on Dr. Linda Salvin on Facebook, where some of you are. I'm everywhere now. Now I just need you, whoever's listening, to participate with the show so I can make it interactive, that like I'm used to. It's not your typical podcast where I just talk. No, I want to interact with you. So please jump on and start chatting. Now, as far as today's show goes, as you know, back in, well, you may not know, but in 1999, I created a candle magic line called Wicks of Wisdom. Wicks of Wisdom works like a prescription for your soul. There's oils, there's candles, there's powders, there's petition paper. You get all sorts of goodies. I provide everything to you. And then I teach you the alchemy on how to make it work. You get herbs. You get powders. I've got everything here to show you. But what really happens, it's between the writing, which you don't get to learn about until you purchase your set of candles, and I learned what your particular issue is as to how to write the petition, and then it's in combination with the essential oils. So I have seen people get pregnant when they couldn't conceive through doctors. I have seen people buy homes during the worst of the market at a price that they never thought they would get. I have seen people get married and find their soulmate, and I've actually featured and led the ceremony for the wedding to help people in their union because of my ministry. I have seen people heal from illnesses or unique issues that would normally need surgery, and some girl did not want surgery. Her husband's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks. You'll hear all about that story at some point. And then there's legal issues besides the health or the balance or the harmony or the money or the good luck, which gets rid of blocks, obstacles, negativity, curses. Can release all this stuff. I'm bringing on a friend of mine. Well, she's become a friend. She started out as she started out as a friend, then she became a client, then she became a friend. It's just, people. I connect with people. And her name is Gina DeStito. When she comes on in a moment, you're going to hear her backstory. Some of it's a little overwhelming. Some of it's not fair. Some of it's just living life. But she's going to testify to what we call the bonfire because we did several candles. And in her situation, we did sweetening judgment for court issues. We did good luck for legal issues. There's a whole formula and theory on how I determine, like a prescription for your soul, which set of candles is best for your unique problem. So let's bring Gina on, and you'll meet Gina. Hi.
Hi. Can you
How are you? You're in Lake
okay?
Tahoe. Yeah, you're a little low.
Okay. All right. Well, I have my earbuds in so I can actually hear you.
We can hear. I can hear you.
I'm in Lake Tahoe. I'll talk louder.
Yeah. So the whole place will hear you. I don't want to say where you are. I'm not giving them free advertising, but I've stayed there.
Yeah.
There's a really nice guy in the coffee shop, by the way. He's really friendly. When I had breakfast. Anyway, Gina and I go back about 3 years, maybe 4 years. We met
almost literally to the day because it was my birthday, August, when I met you. Yeah, so it was 2021. Yeah.
No, it was 2020.
2020. Yeah. Yeah.
It was during lockdown. Lockdown had just started. Gina and I were involved with a health product company, which I still promote, which is the DNA Nutrition, which I'll take just a moment to explain. We swab our cheeks with these swabs. It goes to the company. No, it's not with the government. It's HIPAA compliant. And what you do is you in turn receive a map of 18 genes of your body, what you inherited from your mother and father. Then you get a clinical dose, customized nutritional product based on your genetic code that helps your body. So for more information, it's on my website, or feel free to email me. I don't want to get into the nutrition right now, but it does work. And that's how Gina and I connected. And then we became friends. And then she had a few problems and she asked for some help. So why don't you talk about what's happened and where we are, and talk about the candles and stuff?
Well, I had ended up coming and seeing you for a reading, and you right off the bat, without knowing anything, you're like, "This is a world of crap." And
I kind of remember.
And this is, and you have just been scooped into this where I was the victim, and I was taken advantage of. There's a lot of people out there that are portraying to be what they're not. Very
we all know that.
Bengali type of personalities. And you think that you're a powerful, empowered person, and you can't be taken advantage of. But I was conned, and going through lockdown and everything that had happened, it was just beyond all conception. So as you were saying with the legal issue with not going into it, there was over 20 plus people indicted. And it's basically, my mess needs to be my message now, because it seems that, they'll indict a ham sandwich even if they don't have anything towards you these days. And so this is something that I basically stated that I'm not guilty and I'm fighting. But I want to be able to tell you and share with who's watching this in the universe the power of the candles of Wicks of Wisdom, that when I was offered this absolute deal that was no deal, and I drove to see Linda, which was a godsend because she basically does everything online, video, and sends it to you. But I don't know how many sets I got. I think
7?
It was something like that.
And each set, folks, has 3 candles. So each set can take 4 to 7 days to burn 1 candle. So you're looking at about 15 days per set to get the work done. This is not something you buy at the big box stores and it smells like pumpkin and vanilla. No, this is different. This is work.
And what I was doing, though, it wasn't one at a time now.
No, we did them all.
All 3. I mean, so to say an inferno of a fire that literally burned. But I have to tell you, Linda, that when I first began doing the petitions and the oils and the herbs and lighting it and doing the catharsism and how they lit and how they smelled.
Oh,
and
the
how,
smell is amazing. You have this
oh, it
beautiful,
was,
sweet aroma in your whole home, and you feel the presence of the spirit, right?
it absolutely God's spirit. Absolutely. And this is definitely
Stop
God's.
right there, because people don't know that these oils that I sell with my Wicks of Wisdom have real spirits in them. I'm not, you can't buy these out there. Somebody makes this for me. There's real activity. This is alchemy, people. The candle in Kabbalah represents the soul of man. The wick, when lit, is the flame, which is light, which is God. You do a petition. I don't tell you what goes on the petition. Gina knows what goes on the petition because Gina confides in me and I know her issue. Then we burn it. Then the stuff starts happening. But go on. You did your ritual and it lit up.
And it was the way that the flames danced, and that I went and I checked on them. If I left, the room, or I
Yeah, you
left
go
the
talk to
house,
them.
they talked to me.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
they would what would be one flame, you know, would look like two flames that would look like a body. And I kid you not, because I videotaped this. I'm like, am I seeing this? And I'm like, and it was as there was a just an other world
Experience.
type.
You feel it, you see it, but you can't understand it till you do it, right? Because even when I
And
discussed it with you, you're like, okay, it was like your last resort. You were desperate. I'm going to tell you, people, she drove from Las Vegas to Los Angeles in an emergency because she was that desperate. I'm like, you want to come? I will wait. And it took her 5 hours, but she showed up. We went to dinner afterwards. I did the reading, we did the candles, and she went back to Las Vegas. And that's a 5 hour ride without a lot of traffic.
and and just to say that this all happened in the end of November, December of last year, and to attest to the candles alchemy, that I was supposed to go to court in March, and that got put off until August. And now it was put off from August to now January. And everything has been pulled apart. And now there is more revealing that everything that is looking forward, that we're looking at a potentially a dismissal, where there's been 3 other cases, numerous cases have been dismissed.
And that wouldn't have happened without this, because she was facing a lot of jail time, people.
Yeah,
A lot of not good stuff. I mean,
right.
and she is, when I read this whole thing, I thought, what a zoo. I mean, there was so much going on. Well, I do feel Gina got caught in something that wasn't her fault, but the system included her. And thankfully, I had a solution to help ease it up. So the fact that they've pushed it out almost a year now shows in them admitting it's not as intense or as detrimental as other cases, because the real serious cases will happen immediately, or they'll get them in as soon as possible rather than dragging it out. We bought time, but then Gina would also email me or call me with information from people who like the legal team and the people that are professionals.
Mediators that just came out of nowhere, that were there was different things that there was no way, and then
All
literally
of a
God.
sudden it started opening up, and everybody was shocked, like, how did this happen?
And yeah, and even me having the right people to speak to on my behalf to be able to present additional information, that this shouldn't even ever have come to light. And interestingly enough, part of this entirety has been a freeing episode, that for me to be able to talk about this now, because I've kept this to my chest, and I really think there's a lot of people out there that I want to share with, that they keep things to their chest, and I want to get out there that let your mess be your message, that this does not define me as a victim. This makes me victorious. And I know that I have been empowered by the friendship and guidance that Linda, that you have given me, gifts of wisdom and the power and the empowering knowledge of how God is connected and knows
Let's stop
everything
right
that I've
there.
been
It's all spiritual, and I am a
through.
spiritualist, and this all comes from light and spirit. It's
Right.
not negative. It's not black magic. It's not voodoo. Although voodoo means healing, even though we think voodoo is negative. But
Mhm.
Gina came to me, not unlike other people, but with a more serious, heavy duty case that I had to really think through how to best manage it. And we just did it. And it's like the gates of hell just broke open, and all of a sudden the sun started shining where she was trapped, fear. Hi, woo woo. You're welcome, and you can go to the chat if you'd like or ask a question. I've been doing this since 1995, 1998. 1999. I created Wicks of Wisdom, so it's been a long time, and I have thousands of testimonies on lindasalvin.com, and I will read a few of them because there's a few other legal questions that or problems that happen. But Gina's got one of the most difficult,
Yeah.
I think, serious, difficult cases I have seen. I did have one woman come on earlier last year to testify that candles kept her out of jail. She had a 20-year sentence facing her, and I may bring her back on this network. But you, right now, your life has opened up socially, financially. You're not trapped. You don't have anything on your ankle. You're free to travel the country. You're always in some city. I never know where she is. I didn't know she was in Tahoe today for the show. I was like, where are you? Come on, you got 10 minutes. But she always shows up. There's that old saying, God may not always be there on time, but he's always, when you want him, but he's always on time. Gina never fails, but you show up. But the thing is the beauty, the smell, but more than that, which is all part of it. Hi, Carl. The emotional connection to the burning elements with the oils, herbs, and the talking. You're right. The wick sometimes will split or have like a little ball that creates. It's not there when you first start. If you can't see the the white one, let me try a darker one to show. Go ahead and start talking while I get this, Gene.
I've got to say that, interestingly enough, even after I burned the candles and the videos, I've actually even went back and watched the video and play it like in my, a background.
Oh, good.
And just the video of that candle give me that peace. And
wow, that's interesting. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a continuation. I mean, why go on YouTube and pull up a picture of a candle burning when this is my own personal connection?
That's a really good point you just brought up, because I have a client. She said she went on YouTube, found out how to do candle magic for money. I said, okay. And then she said, well, her car got stolen and somebody stole something else. I said, you did not do a money ritual. They gave you a ritual of destruction. There's so much stuff out there. You don't know who to trust, just like you getting in trouble. Or I just got caught in a scam. Thank God. I'll talk about that in a moment. And how at the witching hour, I found out it was a scam. We are so vulnerable, all of us. We don't know who to believe, who to trust. And Gina walked through something with me just this last several months where, the carrot was being waved and I took the carrot away because I saw the wolf in sheep's clothing, and sometimes it's not always that evident. You trust and then bam, you're knocked over because somebody's greedy or lying or doesn't care about who they're offending, or they themselves love to jump into the crap and take people with them, like what happened to you. And you were innocent doing a job.
And these are people with pedigrees. These are people that came to me introduced through very, very sophisticated and vetted channels. So that's what I do want to be able to share with people. You're like, well, how can I be so stupid? Not when something is presented to you and you're looking at everything and documentation. and bank accounts and IRS and tax returns and other people and bringing, dozens of people into it. And, look at Bernie Madoff. Look at how he hustled people. So there are these people that are just literally these
The
emotional.
Ponzi schemes. Let me tell you what happened to me this week. Just this week. Now, I am a psychic. I have a private practice I'm grateful for. No, I don't sit high on the hog, and I'm not making $150,000 a month like, lawyers and investors or whatnot. I work like the average person. I get the bills paid and I have a little bit of freedom, and there's times I do events. And I'm all over Google, and you can find me if you put my name out there. So I get this email on the 15th of August. Today is the 24th. So we're looking at 9 days. I was asked to perform psychic services as entertainment at a wedding. I thought, okay, I haven't done that in like 20 years, but maybe I would. So I asked some questions. How many people? She told me about 20 people. I said, that's a lot of people. I gave her the quote on my price. We negotiated. She dropped it to an hour, blah, blah, blah. Then she said they're going to send me a check.
Oh.
Cashier's check, right? So I said, okay. So I get this cashier's check, but in the mail, but at the same time as the check's going through, I get another email. Oh, the person who cut the check made a mistake and you have to refund some of it. So at the meantime, I'm playing this game, and out of the blue in another email, I get a notice from one of the psychic lines of which I've been attached to for like 20 years. They said there's a new scam going around and they want psychics to do weddings. I mean, it was like, what's today? It was Tuesday night. I got the email. I read it, and that check showed up yesterday on Wednesday. So I have a copy of it. I'm not depositing it because once you deposit, then they get into your banking account, and that would be the end of me financially. But again, it came in at the last second, but at first it seemed real. Then when she showed me the address where this wedding would be held, I knew something was wrong. Then I looked more closely to the name. Then I found that the check was from a state back east, and the UPS came from another state in the Midwest, and then her phone number is in Ohio, but the wedding's here, and all of a sudden, nothing made sense. But I caught it. Thank God I caught it. And it's kind of like you're sensitive and you're vulnerable and you're willing to work and help and show up, and we get hit.
There's so many assaulting emails and phone
we
calls.
Don't know. Right.
And this cyber scam and check fraud and wire fraud and all of this.
Bitcoin was another one.
Fraud. Everything is fraud. And the idea of, people are just so frozen of what to do and how to do. And if it's too good to be true, it usually is. And
or isn't. Yeah.
Nothing's safe. Nothing's safe, because our identities are out there, social security, EIN numbers, so many different things. But being able to keep our peace, and I think that's why I want to come back to Wicks of Wisdom, that keeping your peace and maintaining that calm and maintaining that connection with God is what is going to get us through. And is what is going
to. It's always about God, and it's not about religion or a religious God, and it's not the Catholic God, the Christian God, this God, that God. I'm Jewish, she's Italian. We've got the same God. God is God, good orderly direction. When you do spirit, she's in the wind. She's sitting outside on a beautiful day in Lake Tahoe. The lake must be gorgeous. The sky I can see behind you is blue. I'm sitting in my studio. All the blues and the colors are coming together for peace. Blue is the color for peace and harmony. And when you just breathe, or you just get away from the chaos of what goes on out there, first we had the hurricane the other day. We didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
we had the hurricane, or we have all this chaos and with fires around the world. The world's burning up, and water's not safe, and we're in a political year, and it's just on and on and on. But on top of everything, and Gina mentioned the emails. You never know who's soliciting what. I had to have my tech guy help me get out of a guy who was pressuring me that I had to go to their company for SEOs and change servers and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm not doing it. But he wouldn't let go. And I said, if you have to have that much of a hard sell, I don't want to deal with you. Because when they push, it's another sign something's wrong. It's hard because everything's in our face. You're on the phone, you're in the car, you're on the laptop, you're on the computer. We are real time, and we don't know half of what's real anymore except we're breathing. So be still, for I am God. Be still, for I am God. And just like I used to always talk, I would read the butterfly poem. I'm going to say it because it's something you need to hear right now, which will give it the more peace. Where a child's questioning God, said, "God, are you real?" And the child whispered, "God, speak to me." And a meadowlark sang, but the child did not hear. So the child said, "God, speak to me." And the star shone brightly, but the child did not see. So the child said, "God, speak to me." And the thunder rolled across the sky, but the child did not listen. So the child said, "God, speak to me." And a child was born, but the child did not know. So the child said, "Touch me, God, show me you're real." Whereupon God reached out and touched the child, but the child brushed the butterfly away and walked away unknowingly. There's messages everywhere. A lot of it I just got chills. A lot of it gets convoluted. We believe, then we find out, oops, nope, wrong path. Who to do business with, who not to do business with, and eventually you find what you call your village, your own type of people that understand you. Even your own family won't understand you at times. We know that. We try to just get on out there. But going back to Gina and her situation, or your situation, whether it's love, looking for love, getting out of a relationship, trying to get rid of the third wheel, a legal problem, lawyers, mediators, dates, potential sentencing, people do great with sales. They multiply when they do the money and success power, realtors especially. I'm working with a few dentists back east right now because of what they're going through. And I have another client who's got me doing some candles for her where she's got some debts from school, and we can kind of finagle that a little bit. Finagle in Yiddish means to mess with it, tease it a little bit, make it go away. I've seen people have some bills go away, and the receiving end is like, how'd they do that? How did that happen? Or the chart got lost, and the victim is free. So candle magic works like a prescription for your soul, but you have to follow the directions or watch the video, which now we can do. You get a PDF file of instructions. I walk you through everything. Sorry about my throat lately, but since, I don't know. Sorry.
While you're clearing your throat, maybe take a sip of water. I do want to share that even though all of the candles that I got was specifically to sweetening judgments and luck,
Good luck.
I also had different manifestations of true miracles, that my health, also what we thought was lost and thrown away.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, family heirlooms and this was just like not even 24 hours after starting the candles, of pictures and letters from...
Gina called hysterically thrilled. You're not going to believe this. And I hear this all the time. Dr. Linda, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. I said, yes, I do. But by removing blocks, obstacles, negativity, even though we were targeting in a specific area, say legal, it's still the energy takes off like this little black cloud that we can live under, with, on, or whatever. And it all opened doors. And when she found this box, how long had it been since you missed it?
2014.
It's a long time. That's a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was heirlooms. It was a suitcase that I had
9 years
to a
looking
family member, and it was what we were told it was thrown away, and irreplaceable photos and letters from all the way back to the 1930s, and then it was found. and they were going to set up, Christmas, and they were looking behind boxes, and it was behind boxes deep into a garage, and there it was. I opened it up like it was like 1930. I mean, the satin on the suitcase, and
was this your mom's, your grandmother's? How far
oh,
back?
my father's and my mother's,
dad's.
exactly,
Okay.
both of it. So, and that had actually caused some challenges between my family because and then that presented itself, and then that was able to be united, and that actually healed different parts, within my family,
That's
and
great.
I'm talking about a judgment candle, right? Sweetening judgment. That was exactly where judgment of my family, where they were asking me, well, why did I bring this to another family member? And then, but what I'm saying is that there is more to what the petitions of what we're focusing on, that where it has
It goes
continued.
wide. It goes beyond just the name or the situation and the specific verbiage
Mhm.
that goes into the candle and creates the magic. And in Gina's situation, the lid was blown off. It's like you're wearing a black hat. Take it off, and there goes all the energy, like out of your crown chakra. Your whole world opened up, Gina. Gina has been struggling well, especially even with the heirlooms. That's 9 years right there. But this legal thing, any legal problem, is draining and anxiety provoking and worrisome, especially when you know you're innocent.
Yeah. And that right there just completely weighs on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have so many God-given talents that oh, the earbud just fell out. So many God-given talents that we end up then not listening to because of potentially what can happen of our own thought process. So just right there, and I really have to really interject to you to have the video of this, and that these candles, it's not just one and done. I
Mm-mm.
really feel that everything that I had put into it energetically is there every time I look at the candles. And that I can look at them, and I can watch them burning, and I can watch them dancing. And that gives me a continued like bonus
That's great. I
appreciation.
love hearing that. I love hearing that. But I want people to understand that it's not manifestation, it's not intention, it's none of that. I don't like those words anymore. And people are kind of getting to me, why don't you like those words? That's just not where I am today in my life and career. Because the candles themselves, even though you're given the ideas of what to write with the oils that make it happen, yes, our energy and our intention or God's self or our hope or whatever goes in there, but the magic goes beyond. That's why it's magic. You can't pinpoint it. You can't allegedly touch it. You can touch the hat, the headphones, my monitor. You can't touch air. You can feel it in a breeze, like with her hair moving, there's air moving, but you can't really capture air and say, oh, I'm holding air, any more than you can hold God. You feel God. It's a conception in your mind. Or what I discovered after I was in a plane crash 42 years ago, I separated mind body. I was out of my body for 4 months. I was 50 feet out of my body. I saw God. I definitely saw the other side, which is how I got my gift, because I'm very connected spiritually. But when you really understand it, see it beyond what you're taught in school or your family or religion, and then you step away and outside that box, like Gina, she sees life. She sees the soul. She knows spirit. And yeah, your spirit went into those petitions once they were dictated, and you added your own. And the fact that you participate in it, that's why a lot of people will sell made candles with the oils of the herbs. You just burn it. And I asked the guy that I've been working with for many years, I said, well, we just do that. He said, no, you want people to still be a participant in the magic, which is why it's a little more work, but you see it like Gina feels it. You see it, you experience it. Did you get up in the middle of the night at all and go look at the candles?
Always, I mean, I was checking on them like they were chicks, like
Yeah,
baby chicks.
yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm constantly checking on them, making sure if, if they went out or what they were
Did any
doing.
explode? One exploded. Did any of them crack?
No.
You
They
did?
went up and they smoked, and
Yep.
but they and I have pictures of all the way through and videos of all the way through. But I didn't have that situation as far as an exploding or a cracking.
Yeah, I had
Um,
about 7 or 8 in the house the other day, and one of them cracked, woke me up about 3 in the morning. And oh, there it goes, and I had to go clean up the glass. And I teach you how to take care of all that because it's hot and what to do, and keep them in a moist center or pan or something. All the directions, people. I don't want you burning down your
everything,
house.
everything was absolutely beyond safe. Everything was safe. Everything was, contained. And I wanted to talk about the level of intention, and when you're talking about God and faith.
Yeah.
When we go to sleep at night and we have plans for the morning, that's the faith that we're going to wake up. And when you're talking about that alchemy of with a candle, I also want to share with people, if you pray over your food, that's literally alchemy. You are changing the actual formation
Of
of
the
these
food and the
molecules.
experience of eating.
Right, to give that, to bless your body, that it will nourish you, and to bless the hands that made it. So that I just want to share with people, to look at that type of praying or intention over food or different things that you're doing with your day when you get into your and I have to give that wicks of wisdom, being able to bring me back to spirit and bring me back to faith, because
Oh God, Gina,
I've
thank you.
always I've always had that faith, and I've always believed in God, and I am Christian, and I just want to be able to, when you think about in the Catholic religion, there's candles everywhere, there's incense everywhere, they're burning candles, you're
Stop.
going in.
If you go watch my infomercial that I had on TV in 08 and 09, and I had hired Kris Jenner before she was the Kardashian thing. She's in the infomercial, and at the very beginning of the infomercial, which is on my YouTube channel, folks, it's been there for 9 years, 15 years, whatever. It opens up with candles, and it shows candles in the Tibetan world. It shows candles in the Catholic Church. It shows candles at Hanukkah. We all use candles, but when was the very first time you ever did candle magic? On your first birthday, your mom gives you a candle and a cake and says, make a wish and blow out your candle, right?
Yep,
It's not
we're making
new.
we're
It's
making
not
a wish,
new.
not new.
I was in a Kabbalah class many years ago. My rabbi who I studied with is now deceased. So I guess this is going back 13 years or so. And we were reading the Kabbalah, and we got to the part about Hakma, where the candle represents the soul of man and the flame and all that. And I said, Rabbi, he goes, yes, Linda, it came from somewhere. So here's the Kabbalah, 3,000 years old or more, talking about candles. And I'm like, doing witchcraft, I'm doing candle magic. And he approved my candle line from the Jewish perspective. And he thought it was great because people have these images that it's against the religion, it's this, it's that, it's dark, it's that, it's manipulative. It's none of it. It's actually fun, but it's healing, as Gina's testifying. Once
And
you experience it, you'll know.
what you're saying, as far as even in the Catholic religion, you get baptized, you have your baptismal candle, you have your first communion, you have your first communion candle, you have your confirmation, you've got your confirmation candle. Um,
Well, it's like when I was in Italy, in Florence, when I went to La Doma to see the Michael, you walk in and you light a candle. You go to Queens and you go to see the Rebbe who was buried in the Jewish cemetery, and it's all little votive candles. There are candles everywhere. Why? Because candles are light. What is
well,
light?
look at Hanukkah. Look at you have the menorah. You're lighting the candles, and you're bringing, so all of those things. Once again, I just want to bring back, and when you can actually personalize that, and you have that connection with God, and you have your connection with yourself, and you're able to really connect and identify what your thoughts are, because there's so much noise out there, especially what's going on today.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, it's all in our face.
And bringing it back to a real focus of what your intentions are and what you focus on, and that is such a
It's freedom.
peaceful, yeah, absolute freedom, and that's what gives people together. Well, I don't have time to meditate. Well, if you have your candles, and you are now coming back to those candles, and I have to tell you that when I came back to the house, that candle was greeting me in an empty house. I did not feel alone. So,
No, you feel it, people. You feel the presence. Your whole home becomes engulfed with the spiritual entity of wicks of wisdom, which work like a prescription for your soul. Nobody has ever experienced or expressed the same type of feeling doing candles. Yes, there's thousands of lines out there now. I was one of the first marketing them years ago, but now everybody's all over the internet. Everybody's got a line. That's fine, but find what works for you. And there's people that have tried theirs, and then they come back, hey, yours work. I say, yeah, they do. And that's how I found the man, because I tried others. Nothing ever worked. I was referred to somebody. I was freaked out that they worked. I said, oh my God, they work. He goes, of course they work. And I said, he said he would train me, and he did. And I've been with them for 28 years now, and I have my line. But it's people like Gina that I love helping. I have a testimony online where the woman who didn't have to go to jail for over 20 years, even her attorney was shocked, like, how did that happen? He's never seen it. I had another woman who her granddaughter lost her kids, so her great grandkids were taken into the system, and she tried to, with the system, always kept trying to get them out, and they kept getting rejected and denied. And then finally she did the candles, and the kids are home. How does that work? We don't know. It's magic, right? It's all online, folks. LindaSalvin.com. It's all there, and you can read all the testimonies and watch the shows on YouTube with these people who have already testified, and I'll bring them on this new channel. Gina, we're almost out of time, but I love you to death. We've got another project coming up, and even with one of my psychics, there was something that came up in a reading with a person's name that Gina knew, and I'm like, what? And I sent her the copy of this email that had some information. So when you're when you're spiritually connected and you're in the flow, it's going to get bigger and magnify wherever you are. As much as you struggle, and as much as you fight, and we all fight, trying to figure out where to go, then all of a sudden the flow, when you're in the flow, it opens up. But it's still hard.
I just want to say that what you're talking about, being in the flow, of just leaving this soundbite, it's God-driven. It's listening to the small voice of that inner spirit that's within you, that when you listen to that and you embrace it and you trust it, that's when in the natural it doesn't seem real, but in the supernatural all things are possible.
That's true.
I just want to give everyone that there's faith and there's hope, and listen and embrace. And one of the ways is Wicks of Wisdom, and I found so much peace in that. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I do want to let people know that this is a direction and a foundation that can give you peace, that can give you clarity
and results,
and
the results.
And the results.
It's all encompassing. It's all integrated. And people think, oh, why are they so expensive? Oh, I have to do all that work. Oh, they didn't work. A lot of people think, oh, I didn't get a TV show. I did one set of candles. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Or how come I didn't hit the lottery?
There's no phoning this in. You have to do the work. And when you do the work, like anything in life, your results will show. And, your results, Linda, have always been 1,000% on, and I'm blessed to call you friend.
We are friends. We have become friends. I remember meeting at the pool at the convention, and we were all talking health, and we met a bunch of people, Mike especially. Everybody was talking, and we were having a great time. But
Mike on the dot, got to give him a call.
Yeah, I should bring him on. We should do 3 of us should be on the show. That would be
Okay, perfect.
Reach out to him because he'll answer you.
That's the win. That was definitely.
That's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to him and we'll get him on. I don't know where he is, if he's in Florida, New York right now, but that would be fun. He wouldn't shut up. But as far as you coming on, and I know I'll have you on again, but your testimony, I hope and I know will touch a lot of people, because my intention is to help. But the reason I bring people on like you to testify is that other people get to hear another person's experience to give them the strength or the hope and the idea that it can work for them as well. It's not just me peddling, I'm not.
None of these instances, and I call them episodes in life, define who you are. So at one point I let this define me, and now I've broken those chains, and I know wicks of wisdom and these candles have helped underscore and give me that freedom. That does not define me. What defines me?
I just got chills with that, Gina. That's deep. No, you're right, because it took over.
I'm a spiritual person. I have these things to say. I believe that this was placed in front of me to actually shut me up and to bind me. And I have broken through this. And right now, this moment for me to stay, into the universe, that none of this defines me. These charges do not define me. I know who I am and what I am, and that mess is my message, and I am victorious. And all of you have the power to do that too. And God bless you, Linda, for everything.
Thank you, Gina. Wow, bring it back and be my PR person from now on. No, I'm grateful. I love helping and doing the work, and the main thing is the gratification when I see or hear the results, the breakthrough, the phenomena, the spiritual awakening, the growth, the transformation, the release of the problem. What?
You can't fake any of that.
No, it works.
This is real.
This is real candle magic, people. This is the real deal. I teach you, you become the alchemist, you get the results. Go online to lindasalvin.com, place an order, you get 10% off right there if you use a little coupon, or call me off the air. The information will be on at the end of the show. I am going to be wrapping it up momentarily. But Gina, you've been amazing. I'll have you come back again. We'll talk about something else. You have a great time in Tahoe. There's always more for you here. But right now, the worst of that boulder, she was under the manhole cover. I am telling you, she was in the well, down the rabbit hole. And now she's smiling, she's traveling, she's freer, she's got heirlooms, she's back. And I think what's going to happen in January,
I think even beforehand, I think it's going to be just this. But
they'll get it up. Yeah.
Freedom is what I embrace, and that's what I want to share with everybody who's touching with this message. Embrace your freedom. Embrace your purpose here in life. And nothing and no one can take that from you, or that rainbow.
And if you do have a problem, we have a solution right here to help push it on a different platform, right? Different frequency. This is Dr. Linda Salvin. My email is drlinda@lindasalvin.com. I will be back on next Tuesday. We have an author with Sharon Winters and me. We're going to be going over her book, I'm Not Vaccinated, and That's Okay. And then Wednesday, I'm not even sure if we're going to go back to family or dysfunction or alcoholic behavior. We don't know, but tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here on the Dr. Linda Salvin channels. And Gina, I love you to death. Thank you. Have a great time up north, and then off to the East Coast, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a good week. And call me off there if you need my help.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed today's program with Dr. Linda. Need a breakthrough of your own? Ready for answers or insights nobody else has? Reserve your own one-on-one in-person chat. Dr. Linda isn't just for other people. Dr. Linda gets results for you. And it's easy. Contact details are on screen now. Just click on lindasalvin.com or call toll-free 888-509-1077. That's lindasalvin.com or toll-free at 888-509-1077.